Welcome to Earthly Reads, a My Cup of Earth production. The Amazing Adventures of Professor Pecan and the Time-Traveling Tree. In a secret laboratory hidden deep within the heart of a dense forest, Professor Pecan, a brilliant and eccentric scientist, was busy concocting his latest experiment. His long, curly brown hair was tied back in a ponytail, and his bright blue eyes sparkled with excitement as he worked tirelessly at his workbench. Professor Pecan's laboratory was a marvel of modern science, filled with all sorts of strange and wondrous gadgets and gizmos. There were beakers and test tubes filled with colorful liquids, strange-looking machines that whirred and hummed, and shelves upon shelves of books and scrolls containing the professor's extensive knowledge of science, magic, and the mysteries of the universe. As the professor worked, a small, furry creature with large, round eyes and a twitching nose scurried around the laboratory, collecting various items and placing them in a small basket. This was Pecan's trusty sidekick, a clever and resourceful squirrel named Nutmeg. Nutmeg had been with Professor Pecan for many years, and had proven to be invaluable in his experiments. She was quick to learn and always eager to help, and the professor relied on her keen senses and agility to retrieve items from hard-to-reach places. Just as the professor was about to add the final ingredient to his experiment, a strange and wonderful aroma wafted through the laboratory, causing Nutmeg to sniff and twitch with excitement. The professor's eyes lit up with surprise and delight as he followed the scent to a small, ornate box that had appeared on his workbench. The box was adorned with intricate carvings and symbols, and it seemed to be pulsing with a soft, golden light. Professor Pecan's curiosity was piqued, and he carefully opened the box, revealing a small, delicate tree with branches that seemed to stretch on forever. "Ah! A time-traveling tree," the professor exclaimed, his eyes shining with wonder. "I've heard of such trees, but I never thought I'd be lucky enough to find one." Quote, Nutmeg, sensing the professor's excitement, scurried up the tree's branches, chattering and squeaking with delight. The professor carefully examined the tree, noting the intricate carvings and symbols etched into its bark. "This is a truly remarkable find," the professor said to himself. "With this tree, we can travel through time and explore the wonders of the past and the future." Quote, as the professor continued to examine the tree, he began to notice strange and wonderful things. The branches seemed to be shifting and changing, revealing hidden compartments and secret passages. The professor's mind was racing with the possibilities, and he knew that he had to test the tree's powers. "Ah, Nutmeg," the professor said, turning to his trusty sidekick. "I think it's time for us to take a little trip through time. Are you ready?" Quote, Nutmeg, who had been watching the professor with wide, excited eyes, let out a loud chirp and scurried up the professor's arm, perching on his shoulder. "Then let us begin," the professor exclaimed, carefully placing his hand on the tree's trunk. The golden light pulsed and grew brighter, and the professor felt a strange, tingling sensation wash over him. When the light faded, the professor and Nutmeg found themselves standing in the middle of a dense, misty forest. The air was cool and damp, and the sound of birdsong filled the air. "Welcome to the past, Nutmeg," the professor exclaimed, looking around in wonder. "We have traveled back in time to the age of the dinosaurs." Quote, Nutmeg, who had been quiet until now, let out a small squeak of excitement and scurried down the professor's arm, exploring the forest floor. As they explored the forest, the professor and Nutmeg came across all sorts of incredible creatures. They saw towering dinosaurs, their scales glinting in the sunlight, and tiny, feathered creatures flitting through the trees. The professor was in awe of the wonders around him, and Nutmeg was having the time of her life, chasing after butterflies and sniffing at the strange, new scents. As the day wore on, The professor and Nutmeg decided it was time to return to their own time. The professor placed his hand on the tree's trunk once more, and the golden light pulsed and grew brighter. When the light faded, the professor and Nutmeg found themselves back in the laboratory, surrounded by the familiar sights and sounds of their own time. "Ah, Nutmeg," the professor said, patting his trusty sidekick on the head. "That was quite an adventure, wasn't it?" Quote, Nutmeg, who was still basking in the excitement of their journey, let out a contented sigh and snuggled up against the professor's chest. The professor smiled, knowing that he had found a true partner in his adventures. Together, he and Nutmeg would travel through time, exploring the wonders of the past and the future, and uncovering the secrets of the universe. And so, the professor and Nutmeg set off on their next adventure, ready to face whatever wonders and challenges lay ahead. For in the world of science and magic, anything was possible, and the professor and Nutmeg were ready to take on the universe, one time-traveling tree at a time. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe.